Welcome back to the pre-weekend update, the show where I give you some entertainment things that have gone on in the last week. This way, this weekend, you know what to talk about with your friends. Here we go. On the most recent episode of the podcast Armchair Expert, singer Jonas declared that he and Taylor Swift are cool. He said, "I'm cool with Taylor, we're cool." Okay. This, of course, is in reference to him calling her in 2008 and breaking up with her on a phone call in 25 seconds.
I expect more from you.
I know you do.
Taylor has also said the two laugh about the moment. Now, the 25 seconds is not a long time. That is as long as I have been talking to tell this exact story. But she says she should not have put him on blast on Ellen, and the two are totally friends, and they laugh about it now. And we are glad that this revelation that they're cool comes from a place of friendship. It really shows that as far as all these Taylor's versions go, Joe Jonas is absolutely fearless. Dun, dun, dun. Users everywhere are expressing their annoyance that HBO Max is forcing them to download a second app titled Max in order to allow them to continue watching their favorite shows.
Do it! Just do it!
A couple of things on this. First, why Max? Why this rebrand? No one wants this rebrand. Max is not the name of a streaming service where you can watch all your favorite, well-written, critically acclaimed shows. It is the name of the friend you kind of don't want to drive during the carpool. Like, he has his license, but for some reason everyone's still like holding on to that thing above the window.
Jesus Christ! Really?
Secondly, downloading the second app just seems kind of needlessly complicated. Like, shouldn't technology be beyond this by now? Like, it should just update automatically. It seems overly complicated in the same way that this path Max swore was a shortcut, it seems. Like, it's not a shortcut. It's simply, this is the long way.
Your intellect is as weak as your dollar.
Monday was World Goth Day, which seems like a holiday that truly no one being celebrated would want. I just can't imagine a group of goth people running up to each other like, "Oh my gosh, happy World Goth Day." When Googling research about goth people, one of the first questions that popped up was, can you be goth and happy?
Scheisse.
And of course the answer was a resounding yes, but I feel like Googling "can goth people be happy" is like Googling "can you go scuba diving if you can't swim?" Like, if you're asking, you're probably already drowning at the bottom of the sea. Sorry to bring up a joke about death so quickly. It's just I'm trying to celebrate Goth Day in the best way I know how.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your pain?
While Monday was World Goth Day, Tuesday was World Turtle Day, which is the most differently vibed a day could possibly be. Honestly, in the past few years, turtles have come out swinging.
Wow, that's fast.
They've kind of become the activists of the animal kingdom. One picture of a turtle with a straw up its nose, and suddenly straws are being banned, and alternatives are being sought. Like, people are changing things, like changing the world because of these turtles. This is leading everyone to look at the hair like turtles' coked out, underachieving brother. Because we know slow and steady wins the race, but then it goes on to create lasting positive environmental change. So now all eyes are on Rabbit for International Rabbit Day on September 23rd to see how it responds to the question, why can't you be more like your brother?
Yeah, boy.
Being a high-powered multi-hyphenate artist in today's world is very difficult, but we got a chance to talk to somebody who is doing it so well. Maria Tran is one of the stars of The Fist of the Dragon, and we got a chance to talk to her about her life and her work and everything that's led her up to this point. Here is a clip from that interview. Be sure to check out the full thing on the rest of our YouTube channel.
I think for women who want to choose the extraordinary path, I would say you are going to be faced with extraordinary challenges that will really test how much you trust yourself.
Welcome to this week's segment of Geeking Out. Today, I will be diving deeply into the HBO Max rebrand to Max and streaming services and what got us here and what's happening, at least like lightly. You know, like we don't have too much time, so I'm gonna like start to dive in. Anyway, basically, everyone is mad because HBO Max is now requiring people to download a second app called Max in order for them to keep watching their favorite shows as a means of transitioning to this new app in general, just to continue doing things. So basically, how this all started is back in 2018, AT&T acquired HBO Max and did less than a great job. This acquisition did not go well. It actually left HBO in over $508 billion in debt. That is so much debt. That is like the most debt ever. That's actually not the most, you know what I mean. It's a lot of debt. So it was a problem, which is kind of crazy because HBO was always the place people went for being like, oh, this is like a premium streaming service. Like all the best original content you're going to find is there. Like Game of Thrones, anything that was like a high quality, well-written streaming show. For the longest time, it was like bing, bing, bing. Oh, HBO Max, that's where I'm going to go. But now this premium company is kind of like collapsing and falling apart. So they've been desperate. They've been scrambling. Hence the rebrand. And now the rebrand is not necessarily like, yes, it's a rebrand, but it's more of a defensive move than it is an offensive move because they are trying to protect the HBO Max brand itself by rebranding to Max. Max is more than just like your favorite streaming services, but like we're just not saying HBO anymore. Like it's not like what Dunkin' did to like Dunkin' Donuts did to Dunkin'. You understand the order in which I'm trying to say what I'm trying to say. Anyway, can it just be Dunkin' Donuts? Why? We understand your donuts are like mid, but controversial? Who's to say? Comment. I'm not saying I don't love them. I'm just saying like they're not the best donuts in the whole wide world. We're getting off topic. Anyway, so with Max, HBO and Discovery have now teamed up. So now any show that airs on cable on Discovery will air that exact night on Max as well. And part of the reason for dropping HBO is they are trying to protect this idea of it's like this streaming service is its own thing. It is high quality. It is very well crafted. Everything is put together very specifically. Whereas Max is more of a home base for everything, where it's like, oh, this aired tonight, throw it up right now. Anything that's been on Discovery, it's there. More random shows. Honestly, it's kind of, it is on that fine line between like, is this a desperation move or is this kind of a good idea? I think it's they're very much trying to protect this idea of the HBO Max brand because that also kind of suggests, this is not anywhere, but it suggests a hope of almost kind of going back to something like that at some point in time. But that is speculation alone, throwing that out there. But the idea with Max now is that it really just is like this home base for everything. So we will see how the content grows and changes. Hopefully the high quality stuff will just coexist alongside more random, less curated stuff. So we'll see what happens in the future. However, something that must be noted is that other streaming services have taken note of what's going on with HBO Max. Peacock, for example, tweeted out today, don't worry, we won't be dropping the first half of our name anytime soon, which is just hilarious. We love to see companies roasting each other. But yes, that's what's going on with HBO. That's what's going on with Max. Just yesterday, musical legend Tina Turner passed away. This absolute icon leaves behind a legacy of songs such as Proud Mary and What's Love Got to Do with It. She died while in her home in Zurich, near Switzerland, surrounded by friends and family. Our hearts go out to all of those affected by her passing, and her legacy will be remembered forever. And that has been our pre-weekend update. For more, be sure to subscribe to us, follow us on all our accounts, check out our articles on Enstarz.com, and yeah, have a great rest of your week and a great weekend.